Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Big Jiu-Jitsu Show. Remember the Podbros Podcast Network. Go to podbros.com. Find yourself another podcast you want to listen to and enjoy it. And don't forget to go to bigjujitsu.com. Buy a t-shirt, buy a patch, and you'll enjoy some of the other episodes we've had on there as well. And don't forget to go check out our sponsors, Trap and Roll Soap Company, as well as Tape Armor. Tape Armor has finally picked us up. So we're at 2 sponsors now, man. Like 2 official ones. We're moving on up, dude.
Dude, that's pretty much like next one's Fox.
Fox Sports or fucking, at this rate, Sky Vodka should probably pick me up.
Dude, Sky Vodka, effing vodka, whoever's out there, if you guys make vodka, send it this way.
Seriously. Yeah, my name is Rob.
I'm Devon.
And we're here just chilling, man. I know it's been kind of slow, but this travel back to Germany has kind of fucked me up real good, man, with the jet lag and everything.
I was thinking about that. I was curious of what your sleeping pattern would be like because like some of your messages I saw like one at like 5 a.m. and the whole thing. And then when you said you're like, oh, I got a little time tonight. I'm like, I wonder if this guy can even fall asleep.
So I finally had to like suck it up and just NyQuil the shit out of myself. Was it last night? What's today? Wednesday? Fuck, man, I don't even know. That's how I took vacation as well because when I came back, I was like, I knew I was gonna hate life. So I just was like, fuck it, I'm going to take a week of vacation, kind of resettle. Monday night, it was Monday night. Monday night I said, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to drink NyQuil. I'm going to pass out. And then my wife was like, hey, do you want to come out and have drinks with us? Because I just got done teaching class. I said, absolutely. Let me go get some drinks. So since this fight's coming up and I got to make a certain weight, I've had nothing but vodka tonics. So that's why we need a vodka sponsorship at this point. And, came home, I'm like, I'm good. I'm going to drink NyQuil now. Drank NyQuil, woke up at like 11 o'clock the next day. So I think I'm cured, man. I think I'm partially cured.
You guys are out there. You guys are going to try that shots of vodka chaser with NyQuil. Rob said it works.
Yeah. It'll do something to you, all right. I think I woke up and my liver was on fire, man. Just like, somebody punched me, man? Shit, what happened?
Dude, speaking of that, I was telling my friend about this. Dude, I got food poisoning terribly a week from today, actually, last week.
Yeah.
And Carl's Jr., fuck you, Carl's Jr.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I had a Western bacon cheeseburger. I just downed that thing. It was so good. And like an hour later, I'm puking my brains out for, I'm not even joking, 5.5 hours straight. Like, I had to go to the ER because my legs were falling asleep. It was just the worst pain I ever felt like. But I was telling my friend, it seriously felt like I was throwing up from alcohol times 10. Like I've never felt that pain before when it comes to vomiting. And I thought that, throwing up from alcohol is terrible. Throwing up from food poisoning is exponentially worse. Like I thought I was going to give myself another hernia. Like it was that bad. I was like freaking out.
Really? Shit, man. Because I know like alcohol puking is pretty terrible. So some of my adventures that happened while I was in Arizona, because, I'm supposed to be taking my training very seriously. In all fairness, I did drink nothing but hard liquor. So I guess that does kind of like, it's okay, right?
It levels out. I think it evens out.
It does, I trained real hard. Lightest I've been in a while. This is pretty good. And then, so I went out and we did karaoke. Bad choice first off. Well, actually, no, we went to a wine bar. So I had some wine because I'm sophisticated as shit. And then we went to this karaoke joint, and I don't know what happened after that. Well, I do. We came back, and I found a tow hitch in the parking lot of, like, where we were staying. So there was a tow hitch still, like, floating around on base somewhere. But I remember getting up. I was like, dude, I feel like shit. Went to the bathroom, puked, like, for 15 minutes straight.
Oh.
Cleaned up because that's a responsible and polite thing to do, and then just passed out. So like the thing is, I think when you're drunk and you're throwing up, that it's kind of like you're drunk and throwing up. That's one thing. But then when you got food poisoning, you feel all of it, but with like nothing fun was accompanying it.
Yeah, dude, I pretty much got like the aftermath with none of the fun before, like you were saying. Like I definitely got the disoriented part, I got the delirious part. But I didn't get the fun part where you're hanging with your friends and getting crazy, putting girls in triangles, dude.
Oh, shit.
I didn't get any of
that. Sean will forever, man, he will always hear about that. For those of you who still don't follow our Facebook page or even our Twitter or whatever it is, man. Like, check it out because there was a picture of Sean with a girl in a triangle choke at a bar we went to. So we party real fucking hard when we go out. And by party real hard, you know, we're like, dude, did we just do something douchey? We talked about this before, man. We fucking talked about this shit. I just thought of that. I was like, yeah, you know, it's not bad like those people that do, you know, fucking jujitsu the front. I'm like, God damn it, we did jujitsu in a fucking bar. That's like the ultimate douchebag move.
I know, right? Like, people are probably looking at you guys like, oh, look at those dudes, like, freaking the guys that think they're fighters, and you're fucking girls and triangle chokes and just like singing karaoke, throwing up in the bathroom.
Yeah, dude. Oh. What's funny too is that kind of like led into like that kind of that same thing because I was reading some articles before we started this show. It was like old school stuff, like old school martial arts black belt magazine covers, and they're talking like how karate in the 70s and 80s was pretty much like a no man's land of just crazy shit.
Yeah.
And it was like this guy put up this picture and he was like, check out, this is like redneck karate. Pretty much these guys would get done with their tours, come back, get loaded, and go to bars and fight people using karate. I'm like, that's probably the group I would have hung out with if I was alive at that time, but there wasn't there was no social media back then, so there's no way to document that fucking craziness aside from if somebody brought a camera in a bar, which I'm pretty sure nobody did.
I know that I'm not like a huge like just like bandwagoner of like the Gracies like everyone is. Like I like Hickson. I like the people that you know people typically like in jiu-jitsu. But there is one part of their history that I wish I could see because I want to see some of those old fight tapes. They say that like there's some that Hickson has with like Mark Schultz. There's some that Hickson has with all these different people where they're like legit fights. It's not like the ones where we see where like someone's in a gi and they're just taking them down mountain. Like there's some legit ones where I guess like some of the brothers are just beating the shit out of people, like real fights, like and just like bad against dudes who, you know, are legitimate guys. That's the kind of crap that I want to see. I love seeing real raw fights like that where it's like back in the day where you could show them to people now and be like, look at this guy. Like, not saying anything bad about Bruce Lee, but let's look at this guy.
Let's look at this a little more realistically because, dude, Bruce Lee, as badass as he was, you gotta remember he also was like, he was ahead of his time, but at the same time, like, if you put him against like Anderson Silva, shit, man, even anybody who's like entry level, I bet Bruce Lee would lose.
Oh, dude. Okay, so I don't know if some guy left the gym because of me. He definitely didn't come back after I said this. So at every gym, you know how it goes. There's always guys that come in that have done karate before, and that's cool. Like I literally like I make jokes and stuff like that a lot, but it's like whatever. It's like it's just fun, right? Some guy came in and like I guess Bruce Lee was like his hero because he had trained karate for like 10, 11 years or something like that. He loved Bruce Lee. And I didn't know this guy trained karate. I don't know this guy's last story. I wasn't there when he signed up, right? But he's a nice guy and he's cool and we would drill together and stuff like that. I'd go on my way to show him stuff. And one time after class, we're all sitting down and I'm lacing up my shoes and then someone brings up Bruce Lee. And my friend who's the instructor looked at me and I didn't know why he was looking at me, but he knew what I was going to say. And I just went in. I was like, dude, Bruce Lee, you guy's a freaking fake fighter, dude. I've never seen any of his fight videos. I was like, I was pretty much saying, like, in more words with a lot of obscene language, saying that I was going to, if I fought Bruce Lee back in the day, I would tear Bruce Lee up. Pretty much saying
Hell
that.
Yeah.
And the guy was just kind of quiet. And I was wondering why this guy kind of stopped talking. And I was like, I wonder if I said something like maybe he didn't like all my cursing or something like that. So the guy leaves and he come back and I asked my friend, I go, dude, where'd George go? And he was like, oh, dude, I don't know. Like, I think after he saw the Bruce Lee stuff, and he got kind of offended and he never came back. And I thought he was joking. He goes, no, dude, I'm serious. Like, that guy did karate for like 10 years. Like, he loves Bruce Lee.
Well, he didn't really love Bruce Lee then if he did fucking karate for 10 years because Bruce Lee didn't do karate.
Right.
God. I really like Jet Li, so I did Greco-Roman wrestling. No, dude, that just shit doesn't make sense, man. Come on.
No, actually, I have a friend who does that Wing Chun, dude.
Yeah, dude. Like, what's funny is there's a lot of traditional martial arts out there, or artists out there, who are just badasses. That's just the way it is. Like, I think they could have done anything. and they would be badasses, right? But also at the same time, there's some dudes out there who are a little too confident in their skills as martial artists, and that skill like is actually almost ultimately their undoing, or their confidence in that skill is ultimately their undoing, if God forbid they ever have to use it.
Right, right. I always tell my friend George, he's like a brother to me. He just started doing jujitsu again, and I was like so happy. But he loves watching fighting, but he likes it for the sport. He's not like a fighter at heart. He just loves, guys beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah,
But he was asking me about Stephen Thompson. He goes, dude, that guy does karate. And I was trying to explain to him, I was like, dude, you gotta look at it like this. Like, yes, he did karate his whole life, and like he legit has a base because he did like the real like American kickboxing kind of crazy stuff like that, right? Where it's
yeah,
full contact. But I like looking at guys like that as an example because when they are in the octagon doing karate or just we'll just call it fighting, they have like subtleties where they move like karate, but in like the heat of the moment, the movement and things, like everybody almost looks the same a little bit.
yeah.
Like a punch for the most part is gonna look like a punch. A kick is gonna look like a kick. There's different subtleties to it that separate the systems, but like I don't know. Pretty much, I was like when you were talking about earlier about the bars and fighting and stuff like that. I was thinking like, man, you watch these karate guys like back in the day when they went and fought. They probably didn't look like karate guys when they were actually fighting. Like maybe in their stance and they're filling you out, but when they're actually like intertwined and hitting each other, it's like they're gonna look like a normal person throwing punches and kicks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then it was also a lot of who's just going to be the toughest bastard
Yeah.
and who could take it. Because, man, like, I've also seen some fucked up. There was one that just got resurfaced. It was, I'd seen it before. I'd seen it years ago. It was of this guy coming into he came into a karate school. I guess he challenged the instructor or something. The instructor's like, nah, fuck that. Fight one of my students. And this dude claimed his martial art was like from Jesus or something. And pretty much it ended with the karate student taking the guy down or something, knocking him out, and then stomping on the back of his head while he was on the ground. And it wasn't like a little Vanderlei. It was like straight up like American History X stomps. Like this dude,
Oh,
like they drug him out the back of the studio and just dumped him in the back. And
wow.
so people are like, did he get killed? Was he dead? Like, it's internet video, so nobody really knows. But then again, the video was like from the 80s because you could tell, like, one, by the fucking hairstyles. Two, it was just, it was like on a old school camera. Unless this dojo was stuck in time somewhere. It was seriously from the 80s. But I don't know, man. It was fucking crazy. Like, I felt bad for this guy. Like, usually you're just like, dude, get the fuck out of the school.
Yeah.
Nobody wants it. Just leave. Instead, this dude fucking like corpsed him almost and just stomped the shit out of the back of his head. Like giant pool of blood where his head was, just like this smear of blood running wherever they drug him. Oh, man. It was bad. It was real fucking bad.
That's just savage. Dude, you know what I thought about before too? Me and my friend were talking about this. For the most part, in a situation like that, everyone would still have like that fight or flight sense, but we'd be a little bit more conscious of what might be going on more than the average person, even if we're in the heat of the moment. But imagine like if you got to the point where like you had to fight someone not just because you were defending yourself, but because they did something like really terrible. Not so terrible, but they would go to prison, but something terrible enough to where you would want to fight them.
Yeah.
Dude, do you feel like you would be able to stop yourself? Because we talked about that. I'm like, man, imagine if you got to that point where someone really actually, pushed you there. Like, you would, like, end up killing somebody. Like,
You could, but I would like to think the majority of the moves I know now just put people to sleep or break
that's
something.
true. That's true.
I don't know
That's
any.
true.
I don't
That's
know
true.
any
That's
neck
true.
breaks, and I need to work on them.
No,
I guess.
well, I mean, like, if you were mounting somebody and, like, let's say they had, like, let's say some dude, like, slapped your wife. Like,
Yeah,
if you mounted that dude and none of your friends are there to stop you, like, you almost think like, man, how far would I go?
that's a good point. That's a really good point, actually. Like, we pride ourselves on being like, having the discipline and the self control and all this good stuff for martial arts, and then like the time could come where you just like go ape shit and you just like rip a guy's face off or something, or do something equally terrible. Like you maim him permanently, or you fucking give him brain damage or something. Like everybody's got that point. But even like a white belt, dude, even like a white belt who has like a good concept of how to grapple, They fall on the ground with this guy and they just get on top and do whatever they want. Like, it's the same thing. They don't have that control yet. Maybe, but it's a bad situation, dude. That's why, just avoid fights. Don't even be that way.
Yeah, dude, I know. I was thinking about it the other day because I'm like, we were talking about that, and then there's sometimes where like you roll with people, and like I don't get it that often anymore at all. Because every once in a while there'll be some guy that like does something too, where it's like it just bothers me, and they have like a 30-second flurry where you're just jacking the dude, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're like, man, if this was like a normal person, what if like I don't know. It's like imagine if you were one of those idiots that couldn't control their temper, or if you were one of those dudes that just like was a douchebag and wanted to fight people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
I
That should be
mean,
crazy.
martial arts helps, but it doesn't change people. I don't think because I've still met plenty of people who are just fuckers even after their martial arts training. So now you've got some guy with a fucking anger issue that's a second degree black belt in taekwondo and did jujitsu for however long. Like he has just training. So
Dude, do you bow when you get on the mat?
I do, yeah, I bow.
Okay. See, dude, I have the worst habit. I never bow. It's not that I'm like opposed to it, but I have the worst habit. I never bow. And every time I get on the mat, some of the kids are still there hanging around the gym before they're like 8, 9, 10 years old.
Yeah,
They're like, Devin, you didn't bow. You didn't bow. And I'm always like, oh, fuck, I always forget.
yeah. No,
I've been asking everybody that.
I'm half and half. Honestly, I'm half and half. So what really drew me to jujitsu was, I came from taekwondo where everything was a bow and pretty much like what was it? Somebody said something to me. I'm like, no, I'm fucking Rob. Just call me Rob. I'm not sensei. I'm not Shido. Well, call me Shidoshi because that's cool. But you know, I'm not Rob. Like I'm Rob. Call me Rob. Right. Coming from taekwondo, I was always Mr. Austin. Even when I was a white belt, I was still Mr. Austin. There was no Rob. It was Mr. Austin or Mr. Austin. Instructor Mr. Until you become a master, then you're master, whatever. So even hanging out with people like outside the gym, there was still like that weird, like you still have to call them by the rank. And what's funny is it's so ingrained in me still. Like I haven't done taekwondo in years, man. Like really have not. But yet, still got family friends, and I'll call them like Master So and So, or oh, what's going on there, Mister Blah blah blah. And I'm like, wait, just call my first name. What's he gonna do? Demote me? Like, dude, I don't even do this shit anymore. But it's I would like to be able to call some of them by their first name again. Like what's cool though is my brother-in-law. I've known him for so long. He's just Mark, and I'm Rob. Easy enough. Family is my sisters. I call them by their first name. But that's really about it, man. Everybody else, you got to do that. So like when I came to jiu-jitsu, I was like, do I have to bow on the mat and say a pledge? And my coach was like, are you fucking high? No, you don't, man. So I'm very half and half. Like some schools are into it, some schools aren't. Like I don't really know, man. I'm not like
Yeah.
I'll bow out of class. I won't bow into class, but I'll bow out of class.
So my buddy, he doesn't make anyone do like that. He doesn't make you do it. I mean, he does it. We all bow before class. Even then, sometimes I forget, or I'll do like the half with my head. You know what I mean? Or like, I always forget to do it when I get on the mat, and I'm so curious about that because I watch people, and I'm always like, you know what? Next time I get on the mat, I'm gonna do it. And then I get to class the next day, I never
You
do it.
fucking forget.
And yeah, and then I'll see the guy next to me bowing, and I'm like, fuck, I already got on the mat. I can't do it now. I'm gonna step off and do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just thinking about the weird subtleties at gyms where you pay attention to it sometimes, and you're like, oh shit,
I'm
like I still don't do this.
I'm pretty flexible as far as like, one of the weird things, not really the weird thing, but I'd say one of the cool things about our gym in on base is that it's very diverse. So I've got guys who like follow Gracie, whatever, like Gracie University or 10th Planet, or, some guys came up through, Gracie Baja, I'm a hoist / check, whatever the fuck I am. Just a guy who did judo. It's just amazing. And like even in the bow out, I will always do a bow out, hand slap, hug, do whatever. Like you want to bow to me, I'll bow to you. However you want to shake my hand. If you want to do like the old school like wrestling handshake where you shake hands, fucking hand to hand like you're meeting somebody. You want to do the Braveheart handshake? I don't care, dude. I'll do whatever you want to do because it's not just my gym; it's your gym as well. So
with the guys that do the Gracie University, because I have a lot of friends that like tried jujitsu before they start training with us on YouTube, and like I can't see the difference in them. They, you know, what I mean, they train, they get to roll around. They were just trying moves before, now they have a system.
yeah,
But like, do you notice a difference? And I don't mean like as in like who's better, who's not better, but do you notice a difference in like their approach to things or the way that they roll in the sense of like what they're trying to do? What like between like the guys that come from like a Gracie Baja, for example, compared to you said you had some students from like that had worked with like Gracie University online.
yeah. It's interesting.
Is it not?
Honestly, like it comes down to like not really even approach. Everybody's got an approach. So like if people have an input on a move, trust me, I'm not so good that I'm not gonna take it or like listen to what they have to say. But it's just kind of like different schools of thoughts, and I'll never dismiss it because like pretty much if you know you and I are purple belts, right? If we're doing you and I have different ways we do arm bars, I bet. Our armbar setups are completely different. If you came to my school and you said, well, hey, check this out. This is how I do an armbar, I'd be wrong and an asshole if I was like, dude, that shit, no, we're only doing it this way here. Like, what's the point? If it works, but it's wrong, that means it's not wrong. It means it fucking works.
Yeah.
There's no way around it. And I mean, that's kind of like a thing with what I've run into maybe with just stories from other people about instructors or whatnot as well. So it I don't know, man, like there seems to be a lack of professionalism almost in some schools.
Yeah.
So like I know you deal a lot with the schools. Like you're deep in it, man. Like I know, do you do like day-to-day operations or like do you just like show up and roll or
Dude, I'm like, man, whether it's my family's gym or my buddy's gym, just because I've known him even before I started doing jujitsu, I'm like the person that will be there for like almost anything to fill in for whatever, whether it's like him saying like, hey man, I got a seminar in Mexico or I gotta do this, can you like fill in for class? Or if I go to my cousin's gym, it's like, oh, you want to teach today? I'm like, I just came to roll. Like, sure, yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Just different things. It's so random, hit or miss. And dude, it is weird being. So the cool thing about that is that like when like to use this as an example, the difference between my cousin's gym and my friend's gym, when you're saying like the lack of professionalism, it's weird looking at like what that means to different people too. Because like I go to my cousin's gym in Modesto when I'm there. On paper, not the most professional place in the world at all. They have good training and great people there that are like beasts. Yeah, like all my cousins were like kids pans champs. Like my little cousin Mikey is like at blue belt in juvenile, the absolute, and his weight. We placed second in his weight class for Nogi Worlds, and he won the absolute Nogi Worlds. He's a beast, man. And then and then him and his brother, they both went to state this year for wrestling. It's only their second year wrestling. Like they're just beasts, right? So
yeah.
there are people there, but they're not the most organized, and they're not technically like the most professional. You know what I mean? But my friend Alex's gym, we have a lot of good people there, like myself, and a lot of other younger guys who compete a lot. But he's very, very, very professional. But I don't know what I'm trying to get at, other than the sense of saying that it's weird that like you could have both sides of the spectrum and still be able to put people out that
Yeah.
are successful. You know what I mean?
No, I know
But
what you mean. The way I look at it is like at the end of the day, you know, right now, if you and I open a gym, right? What is the end goal of us opening a business of any sort?
it's just money. We're
It's
trying to make
money.
some money.
Yeah, but we get to make money hanging out with people and doing what we love. So at the end of the day, it's like, you know, a win-win, right? To me, professionalism is making sure your students are taken care of. People aren't paying to be part of like a cult, I guess, in a way. Like some people whose names will not be mentioned on this podcast because I'm not very good at using allegedly. So I'm not even going to mention the names. We're just going to say that some people just pay money to be a part of a fucking cult. Like, why? Like, I understand martial arts is good for people who lack discipline and self-confidence, and it's very interesting to me, and there are people out there who abuse it. And like, I don't know if you've ever run it. So a good movie to watch, and I'm not gonna connect the dots because the dude might sue the fuck out of me, but there's a movie about Tony Robbins on Netflix. And if you read a little bit more and about some of the stuff that happens there, I could kind of maybe possibly allegedly draw a line between the two, saying that like it's almost preying off of people's insecurities. Like
100%, dude. 100%. I'm not a big Tony Robbins, whatever Tony Robbins guy. I have
yeah,
friends that are like, I have a lot of friends that are, because it's trendy right now to be like the entrepreneur and
yeah,
say this and all that stuff. So I have a lot of friends who are into different motivational speakers and self-help people like that,
yeah,
if
yeah.
you want to call them that. Um, yeah, I don't buy any of that bullshit either, dude. I'm not. I can get myself pumped up. Give me some rap music, a cup of coffee. I'll stand in the mirror for like an hour and be like, I don't give a fuck, and until I'm ready to go, and I'll just go tear anything up. You know
Fuck
what I mean?
yeah. But a lot of people can't do that. And I mean, it's kind of so yeah, if you're going to buy into like this alleged cult mentality, not saying that that is what Tony Robbins seminars are at all, Tony Robbins lawyers, but I'm saying that a lot of people are looking for an experience, but you need to make sure you need to have like this kind of standard, I suppose, to make sure that you are not giving them an experience that is going to be like, detrimental. Is your time worth money? Fuck yeah, it's worth money because you have a skill set people don't have and they want to know about. I get it. I really do. Trust me. However, you are not, if they're paying you money for lessons, you cannot get pissed at them if they have an issue. You have to give them customer service. You can't take every, you know, disagreement and be like, "Oh, you don't like the way? Fuck you then. Get the fuck out of my school." No, if there's usually something else going on. And you can't always just be like, "Well, my teacher blah 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 blah." Fuck that. You need to listen to your students. You need to listen to complaints. That's the only way you're going to be successful.
100%. I'm glad that you were talking about the whole experience thing because I feel 100% the same way. Me and my buddy, because we have a lot of conversations about the gym, because I'm involved a lot in that sense to where like we value each other's opinion, right? For
Yeah.
me and my friend Alex, and he has a different school of thought in regards to this, into one aspect of it. But I feel the same way you do, where people are paying for the experience, and he thinks more people are paying for it. He thinks his product is more of jujitsu and like the technique and the system that comes about it, and the fact that they're getting belts. And obviously that's an obvious part. It plays into there. But I think that's just the activity that people are doing. Really, I feel like what you're saying, the experience, because the way we got this conversation was like, dude, you need a live stream. He goes, I don't want people taking little things and thinking they don't have to come to class and live stream. It's like they're getting free technique, you know, like over the internet. I go,
Yeah.
dude, people aren't paying just for, they can go do jujitsu anywhere. They can go watch YouTube videos of jujitsu, whether you're streaming or not. I go, they're coming here for the experience. Like people like you, they like the environment, they like the gym. That's what people are paying for. At least I feel the same way you do. They're paying for the experience, not really paying for some like they're. I mean, Alex is great, but they don't know. If you don't do something, you don't really know how much of an expert someone is. Like
Yeah.
you come on your first day of jiu-jitsu, you can't. You're just being sold. You can't like tell whether it's a good gym or not. Either way, they know more than you do. You know what I mean? So. I just basically I agree with what you're saying. It's all about experience. I think that's what makes you successful. It doesn't matter about your technique in the beginning entirely. The main thing, if you want to make money and be successful, all experience, 100%,
Yeah.
100%.
It has to be a passion. Like if you lose your passion for it, it's time to pack it in, man. I still love getting out on the mats every day. Like one of my students today, he was like, "Hey, are you gonna roll?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'm gonna roll. Are you serious? Like I get to do this at night, teach class, and roll with people. Dude, this is like Christmas every fucking day, man. It's awesome." And I mean, great. It's like volunteer time. But now, if you're gonna like say, "Hey, you've got 100 students a month. They're paying this amount of money." I'm like, "Yes, absolutely. You better bet your sweet ass I'm on the mats every day teaching these people. They're paying me money to do it." Maybe.
That's kind of, I saw that meme where someone said, like some dude said, like it was something like, "Oh, you pay money monthly to have this dude tell you that you're not allowed to go to another
Yeah.
school." Basically, you know what I mean?
Dude, at the end of Jason Scully, if you listen to Jason Scully interview, he hit the nail on the head. He is so fucking right about it. The end of the day, like, you're paying money for somebody to teach you. If you're not happy with it, don't be a dick about it and leave, but you can still go train with other people. It's okay. Like, I don't know, man. Like, there's a lot of shenanigans, I feel, and it's not old school feudal Japan where I've insulted the Martinez family by leaving their school of the jumping guard and and have gone to the, I don't know, man, the fucking, oh shit, the Gracie
The Rob
school.
Austin
Yeah,
freaking
the
lift up and dump you on your head.
yeah, the Rob Austin school of slamming is totally legal or whatever. You know, like, you know what I mean? There's not going to be a blood feud between our two families. It's just, oh, you don't like our school? Okay, cool. Can you tell me what we did wrong? Improve it, move on. Great. See that guy at the tournament? Don't be like, you see that guy? I want you to break his fucking arm. No, don't do that shit. Fucking just, God. This would have worked, like, I don't know, what year is it? 2016? This probably would have worked about 800 years ago in that sense. but we're not. We're not in that timeline anymore, man. We can't do that shit. Oh, God. Just people need to chill the fuck out.
It's yeah, dude. It's fucking jujitsu politics, man. I can't stand that shit. You would think it'd be the one place you can get away from it, but it's almost like it's even worse.
Yeah.
It's even worse inside of it.
Yeah, we go to the gym so we don't kill people. Yet we go to the gym and people make us want to kill people even more. It's just, fuck it. Man,
Fuck
but
it and fuck all the cool guys in jiu-jitsu.
that's right.
Fuck
Yeah, yeah.
everything,
You know
dude.
what? That's why I want my gym to be super laid back. They're like, dude, there are people that I guess they're the rival gym in my town, and they're like, yeah, we used to train blah 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 blah. I'm like, cool. Show up whenever you can. I don't care. Let's roll. Let's do jiu-jitsu because that's what we're here for. Do jiu-jitsu. That's it, man. I'm happy with their successes. I'm with them on their failures. It all sucks when they fail, but hey, man, when they succeed, I'm a happy guy too. But hey, speaking of jiu-jitsu stuff, let's I completely skipped a shitload of ranks.
There you go, dude. This is the first ever time in history, guys. If you don't listen to this episode to experience this, you're pretty much missing a part of jiu-jitsu history.
Yeah. So I'm the first guy ever to go from a purple belt to a third-degree black belt. So there may or may not be an online place where you can get your own certificates, and this is just out of spite of somebody else because I'm a dick like that. But the Combat Martial Arts Association, it's an MMA training association, and their motto is achieving excellence through perseverance. Let me tell you something. I've persevered a lot, right? And it pretty much says that I am certified as a third-degree black belt in the martial art of hybrid jiu-jitsu. I told Andre about this. He said, what the hell is it a hybrid of? And I said, it's real jiu-jitsu and bullshit. So I'm a third-degree black belt in that. So I don't know, man. It's got Japanese writing on it, and it's funny. It's Japanese writing, and a dude who's clearly not Japanese signed it, but whatever.
Dude, I figured I should I should see if they can let me get one of those for free if I email the people because I'm a purple belt. That's at least half of that certificate.
Seriously?
And my ex-girlfriends can account for the other half of the bullshit part, dude. Like,
There you go.
I need one of those, dude. I say I'm probably like a fifth degree at
$99
least.
and you're a lifetime member. I'm actually eligible for
Oh,
certification next year. We should do a
Woo!
ceremony. Let's do a ceremony. I need a ceremony done.
Yes, dude. Seriously.
Oh, man. I need a frame.
It'll be like a hybrid ceremony. It'll be like a Soul Train line / belt promotion / like I don't even know what the other thing would be.
Well, I figured it's appropriate considering, like, going back to what we talked about earlier about the, you know how, like, the 80s and the 90s were all about, like, the karate guys and shit like that? What was a cool thing to be in the bar when you wanted to, impress ladies and, like, oh, yeah, I'm a black belt in karate, or I've done some full contact fights. You know that movie Bloodsport? Yeah, I fought in the Kumite. And of course they're gonna be like, panties, I don't need these, and then you're in, right? I guess maybe in like the 90s and 2000s when it was cool to be a Navy SEAL, everybody was a Navy SEAL. But now it's starting to be like MMA fighters and BJJ guys. So I think it's going to be kind of like a shift to black belt. Yeah, I trained with the Gracie. Oh, like this one fucker I met when I was out, out and about doing like, handing out business cards and stuff. Oh, I did martial arts. I'm like, cool. What'd you do? It's like, oh, I did Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with the Gracie families back in California. I'm like, are you fucking serious? Because I was a white belt still, but I kind of knew. It was like, hey, which Gracie did you train under? I don't remember. Fuck out of here, man. You're serious? Get out of here, man.
Dude, I've heard that so many times from guys that walk in the gym, and I hear them say like, "Oh, I used to train a little bit back in the day," and he'd be like, "Oh, what school did you train at?" And they're like, "Oh, some school in Los Angeles." "Oh, who was your black belt?" "Ah, I don't remember."
I
Like,
don't
okay,
remember.
all
Yeah,
right, yeah.
yeah. It's funny. One of the guys that came in our gym, he was like, "Yeah, I haven't rolled in forever. I'm a brown belt." And I'm like, cool. And then he beat the shit out of all of us. I'm like, yeah, he's a brown belt. So then he brought like these old school pictures of like him and Horion and shit like that. Yeah, it was like they're
Holy
like the
shit.
printed out, like the old school, like you drop the film off at Kmart and it's the
Yeah,
speedy one, so it's done in a day, like the old 35 millimeter photos. He was like showing us all these. It was awesome as shit. And I wish he came
dude,
back, man. But it was fucking really cool. So that's like,
that's so crazy.
yeah, like that. Like, oh, I got a brown belt under Hill. I was like, well, it was a Gracie school. Horion owned it, but it was run by. I was like, dude, that's fucking awesome. So these guys are like, yeah, I'm gonna be in the UFC, and did a couple fights, and no, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Yeah.
I trained out of my garage. Oh, let's put this one on blast. Well, before we head out, but yeah. Speaking of, this is probably one of the better stories ever. So there was a team back home. Once again, not going to name names, but they said that they were a shoot box school. Yeah, and these guys taught out of their garage. So they were like, yeah, we're a Shoebox Academy. And the Shoebox guys contacted them and asked them why they're calling themselves a Shoebox Academy. And the page got quickly taken down. But pretty much it was a bunch of guys who trained in their fucking garage. I wish the videos are still online. I got to find them. If I can find them, I'm going to send them to you because you're going to be like, what the shit? The guys who do the speed bag, you're supposed to like hit the speed bag, hit the rhythm and stuff. He did the Taibo, rotate the fists really fast.
Oh my
Oh
God.
man, I was pissed as soon as I saw it.
I get so embarrassed when I see that do that. The train in the garage, and they put the videos online on Facebook on my feed. I'll see who the fuck is like sparring in the driveway. I can see the transition going downward. They have their MMA gloves on. They're just fighting in the driveway. Like what?
That is
Like
seriously,
how would you even pick like who's on the slope and who's not? Like it's terrible.
yeah, it's seriously like the equivalent of you want to do karate in the garage. That's what it is now. But that was actually cool because they were breaking
100%.
pumpkins and shit like that. Oh, before we head out too, once again, like what's been going on with your vlog, man? You like 15 episodes, man. You're killing it.
Dude, I'm pretty much hitting every day, man. I other than when the food poisoning, I tried doing it too. I just couldn't hold the camera. I was too dead. I was gonna try and document me throwing up. But yeah, guys, I started a blog on YouTube. I haven't been promoting it that much, so I'm still trying to figure YouTube out and find my groove for some of these. Some of them are inconsistent as far as pretty much just the blueprint of how I'm writing them and everything. But yeah, every day I'm just vlogging. Other than Wednesdays, that's when we'll start periscoping live. But guys, YouTube search I Am Symphony, the page is Regime, and watch these vlogs as they're my everyday life. I'm not saying they're the most entertaining thing in the world, but they are.
It's better than watching those fucking Running Man challenge videos. So you need to just go watch these vlogs. Did you do a
This is
Running Man
100%
challenge?
better. I will never do that.
Oh, thank God.
No, but I might do one now, and I might do one now and just tag you in it, and then put your name up there and just like do an outro with your Twitter handles and Big Jiu-Jitsu and all that stuff like thrown across there. That's probably what I'll
I'm
do
so
the one that
pissed.
comes out on
Fuck.
Friday.
So also, I think you and I are working on another podcast here coming up too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But we're gonna keep that under wraps. It's gonna have nothing to do with jujitsu. It's just me and Devon like talking about everything, and This is very jiu-jitsu
I'm
MMA
not.
focused.
Imagine how entertaining. Imagine this: what big jiu-jitsu is, and talk and the speaking on here to jiu-jitsu. Our podcast is going to be equally as entertaining to randomness, bullshit, and just everything you could think of. It is the everything version of big jiu-jitsu.
That's right. We still kind of get into everything, but we're going to be even more everything in there. And then, 4 episodes a week. What could go wrong with my marriage at this point?
Woo, 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 woo.
It'll be okay. It's just the time difference, right?
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Even if I gotta stay up late and record it 3 or 4 in the morning, it's cool.
Nah, we make it work. We'll make it work because we're fucking geniuses.
100%, 100%.
Word. All right, so you got anything before we head out?
Nothing. Mackenzie Dern, hey, what's going on? Maybe you'll be up with your team supporting them at Master Worlds. I know you're not 30 yet, but you might have some teammates up there. So I hope to see you in Vegas. I'm going to be up there vlogging. Staying at the Westgate, guys. I got a free room. Shout out to Events Courts for all of your corporate booking events. I'm shouting him out because he called me a room. So shout out to Mike Tran. And shout out to Mackenzie Dern.
Yeah, so once again, we are the Big Jiu-Jitsu Show. Don't forget, we're also a member of the Pod Bros Podcast Network. Go to podbros.com and find another podcast you like, because there are plenty of them to like. And don't forget, go to bigjujitsu.com. Buy a t-shirt, buy a patch. And don't forget to support our 2 sponsors, our Tape Armor, as well as Trap and Roll Soap Company. I'm Rob.
I'm Devon.
And we'll catch you all next time.